Welcome back to Cards and Comics, and today I'm going to be having my first big mail day in a long time. Now, obviously, I had my National Mail Day, which was huge, but this is different. This is just my normal, cards I collect throughout the months. So this is almost 3 months worth of product that I've not shown yet. And again, it's just part of my collection. I've been really busy at work. I've been traveling a little bit. I'm getting ready to go to Europe in a couple months. So I'm getting ready for that trip. I'm taking a couple more trips for work. And we've just gone through a lot of tough issues. So, it's been a challenging time. So, not being able to do as many videos, as I normally would have. And, coming back for the national, I just focus on the national content really. But we'll get started, and I'm going to just go in the order I have them here because I don't want to, I thought about sorting them, but I'm just going to go in order just to, as I kind of received everything. So first up here is this really cool, and it is a flawless Barry Sanders, numbered 17 of 20, and it is a patch from this year's flawless. We'll look on the back because I didn't even see this. If this is from, it's player worn used material. So there you go. So player worn Barry Sanders flawless, which I really like flawless. I mean, I don't know, I've said it too much recently on my channel, but I would always open a box of flawless every year. Some years 2 or 3 boxes until the price got to where I couldn't afford it. I mean, I remember paying the first year basketball. I opened a box of that, and that was amazing. And I got a Kobe auto, patch auto out of that, and that was great. And but every year, price has gone up a little bit. But then the last 2-3 years, the pricing just got to be where I can't afford it. But I like buying singles from Flawless because it just looks, the cards I still think are really nice. So there we go, Flawless Barry Sanders. Now the next up is a card that I really you're starting to see a lot of these pop up in my collection. I've started to make it a point of emphasis for my collection to have these cards. It came in the eBay holder you just heard me opening, but this one is a companion piece to my um, other version of this card, which the other card I just picked up, the National, and it is the Call to Arms Crusade Frank Thomas. And this one is numbered. So for the purples, can't the sticker from eBay. I haven't opened this, but they're numbered 100. So, but here's the Call to Arms Frank Thomas, numbered out of 100. There you go. That's what it looks like. It's a beautiful card. Sorry if I hit the camera. It does have one little condition issue up here. That I think is just a little bit of where the card doesn't have the refractor material. We'll see what that does to grade. I mean, I'm not sure that's going to be a big deal or not. But again, it's numbered out of 100, so these cards are really rare, and I'm hoping to get the green because I'm actually doing the whole set. But this came up at a really good price because of that one little spot. And I'm just like to have it in my collection. And, as a collector, sometimes it's good to find cards like this because then you're not breaking the bank every time to own a card like this. But it's such a cool looking card, and it's such a nice card that, to me, even if it grades a PSA 6 or 7, I'm still going to be happy with it. So, again, just a beautiful card. And for people who, like the 90s, Frank Thomas was, at some point in time, to me, as just as big a player as Griffey or just slightly below Griffey, but still one of the most important players of that time period. And just a great player. So, next up is I think a Pacific Aurora card. It's they call it Cell Fusion. So there we go. It's a Ken Griffey Jr. It's a really cool card. It's just a cool die cut. it's not worth a ton of money. I believe it's from here. It's 1998 Pacific. There we go. But Self Fusion Griffey, cool card. One of those things that, Pacific cards, in my opinion, from a Griffey collector standpoint, get tons of shade because they're not, tops or upper deck, which is the two things that people really collect for most of the part in Griffey. And this is just stuff that kind of sits there because you'll see like really low numbered Pacific cards from Griffey from the 90s, and the Mariners uniform just not bring a ton of money compared to like an ugly tops card or an ugly upper deck card that's numbered, and they'll bring a ton more money. So I do think they're kind of value plays if you're a Griffey collector. Collecting some of these Pacific kind of like off-brand Griffey inserts isn't a bad deal. So next up is an interesting card, and it is I don't have a holder for it. I was going to go buy a holder for it that actually fits it, but I just don't have one. So I'll just show it to you because it's such a cool card, but it's in a weird holder. It is an Alex Ross Kingdom Come autograph. Now, this isn't secondary market. I'm sorry if there's dust on it because this was a holder I had for something else. But that's a real Alex Ross autograph. And if you look on the back, it says, "Congratulations, you just received a limited edition Alex Ross or Mark Waid," but this is obviously Alex Ross autograph. And this is from a DC Kingdom Come set. And the set itself is really cool because it's art from the set. It has a lot of iconic imagery, but you could get, Alex Ross autographs. I believe they're supposed to be, I'm missing it. I thought they were all hand numbered out of 299. Maybe not. Maybe I'm missing the hand numbering, but I believe the stated thing is that they're all like numbered out of 299. So it's a cool card. It's an autograph from an artist that's super relevant to this day and very popular artist in comic books. And Kingdom Come is a iconic series from DC. Next up is, again, just some interesting Marvel cards I picked up. Danny Moonstar. This is out of Women of Marvel. This is like a kind of a parallel, I believe. The green numbered out of 100. And this is from like, let's see what year this was. Gosh, it doesn't say. I want to say this is like a 2016, something like that, 2017 card. But it's a kind of foily, nothing crazy, but it's part of my Native American collection. So I remember, talked about when I did my first videos of the year, I did my goals, and one of them was collecting more Native American characters and cards and comic books, and Danny Moonstar is a Native American character, so I collect a lot of her comic books and cards. Next up is just a cool Spider-Man kind of lenticular card. I picked it for a couple bucks. Again, it's from 2015 Marvel 3D. It's die cut. And again, I like any cards that just are cool looking and die cut. And that one just looks cool and it's die cut. So just a cheapy Spider-Man card. Next up is from the 95 Masterpiece set. It's Thor. And, got a weird focus there, but Thor, it's a mint 9. And I just like this set. And a lot of times when these cards bring like $25, $30, they're just fun to pick up because, you can't even grade that cheap hardly anymore. I mean, even the lowest they're offering today, $18 on that new show special or the July special, to get a card for $25 or $20, still hard to do. So I'm just slowly picking up Marvel Masterpiece cards whenever I pick them up. A lot of them raw, but if I see cheap ones, I'll grab them. Next up is a card that I picked up just because it was like literally, I think, a $5 card. But the Superman from the 92 DC Comics card and a PSA 8. I'm a big fan of DC comic cards. Opening boxes. In fact, I got a few boxes on the way. I'm gonna be opening. So some more boxes. I've opened a few on the channel already. So I like the cards. I think this is not a super high grade. I just got it to because literally it was a couple bucks, so I just picked it up. Here's the back. I know I should be showing backs. I'm sorry. There's the back and cool card. Next up is a few cards I'll show in a row because these are all one player, and they all came kind of at the same time, so they're all they are kind of all together here. They are my O'Neill Cruz of the Pirates. So here is kind of a Bowman rookie card. I believe this is the 22 Bowman. So this is this year's. So he's a rookie in this year's products. So there you go. That's his Bowman rookie. And then here is the Topps, I believe, Series 2. Yeah, Series 2. This is just the silver or the foil. There we go. The foil card, and it's a really cool card. It's not the gold, it's just the foil. It's a nice card. It could be graded eventually. He's having a pretty interesting year. I think he's got good. His OBS is okay. Some power, low average, strikes out a lot. So we'll see that improve. I mean, he's definitely got a lot of tools. So he's definitely a toolsy player. Here is his heritage that's the photo variation. I believe it actually says on the back that is the image variation. There you go. O'Neill Cruz. So again, a little more expensive because it's that image variation. Then I picked up his this year's Topps. These look like the Mega, but they're the Topps Chrome inserts out, I believe, Series 2. And the O'Neill Cruz. So, that's based on the 87 Topps. There you go. Really nice card. And then last but not least, this card is actually, to me, these are always cards that kind of get a little less love, but they're pretty cool. Is the Heritage Refractor rookie card. So this is the regular image. So you saw the other image. And again, these are numbered out of 373. So, a pretty, I call it okay, mid-tier rookie card, but it's a refractor. So that's my kind of like my low-end O'Neill Cruz rookie cards I've been picking up. Remember I talked about, I don't do modern pirate cards hardly anymore. But, as a collector and as a fan of the, team, it's hard for me not to buy a few cards of their best rookies just to have a few to kind of root and also, just be still a part of that team's modern collecting versus just always collecting stuff from the 50s and 60s and 70s or whatever. I have a few Key Brian Hayes cards as well. And I mean, I've been trying to be very selective and just get cards like these, which aren't super expensive, just so that, if they do bust or get traded a year or two into it, then I don't feel like I've wasted a ton of money. Like I did with Tayon and Garrett Cole and those guys. Now Starling Marte, he's actually still a really good player. So like I think my Starling Marte, and so is Garrett Cole. That those two guys, my collection will still be worth something. But like I have a Starling Marte like red Bowman Chrome auto, like number 3 of Marte from his rookie year or his first Bowman Chrome auto. So I don't know what that thing is going to be worth one of these days, but I have it. I just don't know what to do with it. So Spirit of the Game. So this is like, I think 98 Donruss. It's a silver press proof. And again, the press proofs have kind of, one of 1500. It is 98 Donruss. It's just one of those inserts. 98 Donruss, again, these die cut cool press proofs. They don't get any love really in the hobby because they're not serial number. They say one of. And, Donruss did that a lot in this time period. And so if they were actually serial number, these cards would sell for a lot more. from the Griffey collectors, but not being serial number does hurt those cards quite a bit. Next up is a really cool card I picked up just because I this idea of multi-autos. I actually have a lot of multi-auto cards in my collection, but this is from, I believe, Topps Transcendent. It is Pitching All-Stars 1 of 1. And that's not on the card. That's on that on the actual sleeve or the holder. But it's Randy Johnson and Nolan Ryan on card 1 of 1 autograph. And it is from last year's. And I thought it was from the Transcendent collection. But yeah, there it is. Topps Transcendent, TTDY. Yeah, it says Topps Transcendent around the back. So this is like, like you open that Transcendent and you get these cool cards like this, that are really, really awesome. And to me, it's like one of those really, I call them similar style pitchers, very power pitchers, but different eras, but both of them being on card like that. I mean, that's not going to happen a ton. You're not going to have 50 of these kind of cards made every year. So it's why I think a lot of people have talked about these multi-card combo cards now, especially if they're on-card autos. Like a Jeter Griffey, or those things are really going up in value because people are like, well, it's hard to get both players to sign. They're always really low numbered and they're more special. So I think you don't see them every day. So I think this is a card that you don't see every day, and it's a really nice card. And I like the black, even though it's got a little bit of, it's not perfect condition. It's not going to grade a 10, but the autos are very nice on it. And again, yeah, if you look at the actual autographs, no smudging. Well, maybe a little bit on that Ryan, but still pretty clean, and pretty cool 101. Next up is another autograph. So just dealing with the autographs. And this is from, I don't like how it says trading card. Guys, I don't know why this is like that. Maybe because it wasn't in the database when it was graded, but it is from Topps Archives. It's the Bull Durham set, and this is the Tim Robbins Nuke Lelouch autograph set. And again, this is not a fake card. This is from Topps. It's from 2016 Archives. And again, I don't know why it doesn't say 2016 Archives Tim Robbins Durham Bulls autograph, because that's exactly what it is. This autograph set's amazing, man. It's got all the stars from that. I mean, there's a Kevin Costner. There's gosh, I can't think of the the female that's in it, but anyway, all the stars are in it, and it's a cool set. It's like their major league set, that's a cool set. And they did one for the Sandlot, so they've done these sets like this, and I really like how they go back and kind of, I think they did Field of Dreams as well. So again, a really cool autograph. Tim Robbins to me is one of these guys that gets a little overlooked. I mean, obviously he's been in some huge movies and very iconic. So it was cool to get a Tim Robbins auto. I just don't like that it says trading card. What's going on, PSA? Again, the only thing I could think of is that they did, this was graded before it was in the database. I don't know. Just kind of weird. Next up, here we go. This is from, I believe, 1990. I want to say 7 or 98. I always get these years mixed up here. So this is 97. So 1997 Pinnacle. This is the Artist Proof. And so this year when they did Artist Proofs, they did them, and so they had different tiers. Just like Topps Finest had gold, silver, and bronze, there was gold, silver, and bronze Artist Proofs, and the gold was the hardest to get. And again, these cards are immaculate. They're beautiful. They're some of the, to me, nicest cards that no one talks about in the hobby, that, you don't see a lot of people, sharing, like I picked up the, Griffey gold, or I picked up the Jeter gold. It's like these cards, if they were finest, people would be talking about them a ton. It's just because they're, they're pinnacle. And again, The cool thing about these is they're basically museum collection, which are defects, combined with artist proof. So they combined the museum and the artist proof into one, because you can see it says artist proof right there, into one big insert, and they're awesome. And there it is. There's the Derek Jeter, and it's one of the coolest cards I've owned in recent times, that gold Jeter. Now, next up is a card that I was going to say exactly like I was just talking about is, this card gets tons of play, and it is the 97 finest, 96 finest refractor of Frank Thomas. And you can see that it is one of those really, really cool. Try to get it so it's in the light a little bit, but just a really cool card, and just iconic. And I believe this one has had the peeling on it, but look at the little lightning in the background light up, and you kind of swirl it around. And again, just a really cool card. The refractors make my camera go out of focus sometimes, so it's really funny. So there you go. 96 finest refractor. It's got a little dulling up here, and I think I've looked at that. I've seen it on a few finest before, and you can usually just buff that out. So I'm going to see if I can just take a cloth and just kind of rub that out, because I think it's just a little dulling on the card, but it's just cool. I have this Griffey as well, this 96 finest as well. So I'm always trying to get the pair. So again, going back to like one of my earlier cards in the video, I've got the green Griffey Crusade. Now I've got the purple Thomas Crusade. I just want to show it off again. And now I'm hoping to get the green one. I've tracked one down, so I'm working on that card. But yeah, I love getting pairs of Griffey and Thomas cards, like the same exact card. In fact, I really want a 93 finest Thomas to go with my 93 finest Griffey. Next up, so going into vintage. So here's some vintage cards. First one is 73 Topps Vida Pinson. So not a Hall of Famer, but just a good player. And I like getting, again, just good players, just having their cards in the collection, because I've always had this thought one day I'm going to like put a whole set together. So like I'm going to, because I've been working very slowly on a 63 top set for like 20 years. And I've got probably 2/3 of it built, but when I get new 63 graded cards, I'm like, oh, that goes in my set. So like one of these days, I'm going to put a 73 set together. I'm going to put a 74 set together. I thought about putting 74 set together because that's the year I was born. So that makes sense. But, just getting as many of the cards graded of stars, semi-stars makes sense. Here's the next one is 72 O-Pee-Chee. Remember, I love O-Pee-Chees. This is the Killebrew in action. It's a cool card. And again, sometimes I pick these cards up so cheap, it's hard to believe that these cards are so cheap and they're so low on the pop report. I'm going to take a drink real quick. Sorry about that, but don't want my voice to crack on here. I have problems sometimes with that. There you go. Cool card. Here's the back. Yeah, very cool. I love the fact that when it has the French and English together, it just makes it look so alien to the normal Topps cards that you see. Next up, again, these aren't huge vintage cards. They're just cards I picked up. 69 Brooks Robinson 8, and that's a really nice card. It's pretty well centered, slight tilt. I'd say slight, but definitely a good card. And you can see the back is beautiful pink. And again, a little touch here, a little touch there. That's why it's not a 9, but it's a really nice card. And again, it's after the 8.5 grading, so you can't say, well, it never had a shot at getting an 8.5 because of when it was graded. Now this one did, but you can tell this is a really nice card. And I've always had this habit of, picking up, nice condition, 7s and 8s and 9s if I can get them, but just to have them for inventory purposes when I go to card shows. And I like having cards below $200 because a lot of vintage guys, they'll buy graded cards in that 200 or below range, But when it gets above that, there's a lot of folks who still collect raw for their sets. So these cards to me are the best of both worlds. People will buy them for set building, or they'll buy them to collect, or they're high enough grade that even like player collectors will buy them. So to me, they fit a lot of niches in the hobby from a collecting perspective. If this card was like $400, it would be something that would be more limiting in terms of who would want to buy it. Next up is weird, but this was just, I thought it sold really cheap. The 96, 97 Finest Gold Grant Hill. Again, I'm a sucker for these kind of cards. I just, I don't know. I keep buying them because I just love them, even if they're basketball. I've got a few, I think 4 or 5 other gold Finest cards from this set. It's just, they're so cool. I just think they're the nicest cards out there. Some of the nicest cards out there anyway. And again, they're rare. They're not rare enough that you don't see them, but they're still fun to find, and collect when you get them. Back to football again. These were some of the earlier cards I got in. So here's another flawless card, Charles Woodson. This is from the Super Bowl. And then this says, it was player worn used material. So I don't like the player worn as much as I like player used. That seems like was used in a game. And I gotta remember back, maybe I was too nice on my Barry Sanders card because I thought it had a stronger statement, but maybe I'm just wish casting that to be something stronger than it really was. Let's go back to the Barry Sanders and see what it said. Yeah, player worn used material. Panini. You suck sometimes. So it doesn't say game used, player worn used. For both of them, this is the Super Bowl one. So people think this is used in the Super Bowl, but probably not. Because Panini puts those kind of claims. Next up is a flawless Rondell Moore rookie card. My wife went to Purdue, and we always collect some Purdue guys. He was awesome at Purdue. Got in trouble and left a year early. But he had I think a pretty good year. And again, they can have a pretty cool offense. So still expecting Rondell Moore to do more. But it's pretty cheap for, I think a pretty good player. So I picked that up. Next up is, I'm a Steelers fan, so I wanted to have a nice TJ Watt auto, and this was numbered out of 10. So there's an on-card TJ Watt auto. Again, there's the back. And so again, flawless cards are very clean, and nice to own if you want just autos of cool players. And then same with football. And sorry about that. Didn't mean to hit the camera. But again, my love of 90s refractors. And so there is a Dan Marino. This is the 1999 refractor. And again, it just goes to show how deep some of the old refractors are in terms of that color. Just a really cool card. I think, and I like the fact it says refractor on the back too. Because you would be surprised. I've bought or seen tons of auctions where they're, say they're refractor, but they're not. You can kind of tell. Sometimes it's harder to tell by the lighting, how they do it. They try to really hide the fact it's not. But I've also seen recently on eBay, there's a 94 Bowman Jeter that says refractor when it's not. It's obviously not. And the guy goes to great lengths to show you that the pop report says it's a refractor, but it's just PSA made a mistake. And the card's not a refractor. And eventually that card will be probably taken out of circulation and put in a different holder. My last 2 cards, one of them is just cool. So I actually have the entire Steeler team set from 79. So this is kind of a duplicate for me. But I thought it was very nicely centered. And again, I just like getting very nicely centered Hall of Famers. And again, this is Franco Harris, Hall of Famer for the Steelers. Just a nice card. Very nice PSA 8, very well centered. Then last but not least is a 53 Bowman Kyle wrote. And again, very nicely centered. Look at that thing. These cards are beautiful when they're centered like that. Just a nice card. And here's the back for those who've not seen a Bowman back like this. Ranked 7th in total yards, gained by rushing in 52. So he was 7th in rushing in 52. So, but yeah, 53 Bowman. They kind of look like 53 Bowman baseball. Just they put a giant. This was gone. It would look just like the baseball set, right? Which I think actually would have looked cool if they had a duplicate of the baseball set. But they didn't. They put the giant football on the card, so give it its own flavor. But I just still think the 53 Bowman baseball set's one of the cleanest sets ever made, which is why tons of people still love it to this day. But yeah, it's definitely a set that I love. But that's a very nice set, and I think outside the giant, probably too big football logo, it's still a really nice set. So there it is. That's my mail day. It's been a while coming. I've got a big comic book mail day I got to go through. I've been to a few shows and comic book stores. Got a pretty big haul. I got to show off some really cool books, so that's coming pretty soon for those who like my comic book content. But for those who don't, I got a few opinion videos coming out on baseball card exchange and some other things. So hopefully you'll see those as well. And I'll talk to you guys next time. And I will hopefully be more up to date with my videos instead of waiting 3 months to do these. So, but I'll see you next time on Cards and Comics. Bye.